What's something you didn't realize was optional in life until you saw someone simply not doing it?
Quitting. Everyone always says how resilient I am. But truthfully, I just didn't realize I was allowed to quit anything.
Finishing every book you start, dropping a book you're not enjoying is elite adulthood.
The same goes for TV series, movies, video games, etc. If you're not enjoying it or you've had enough, you can just stop. I was killing myself at my first job, working late, answering emails at 10 p.m., going the extra mile. I thought that's what good employees did. Then, I saw a senior guy on my team, super respected, brilliant at his job, log off at 4:59 p.m. every single day. I once saw a manager try to give him weekend work, and he just looked at him blankly and said, "No, I won't be doing that. See you Monday." My jaw hit the floor. The world didn't end. He wasn't fired. He just had boundaries. It changed my life.
Using the fancy cups, plates, etc. Mom was flabbergasted when I made her a cup of tea using the china from her display cabinet. If not now, then when? Why shouldn't we use it when we can?
I used to be guilty of thinking like your mother. I was gifted a beautiful, fancy, too expensive outfit from my newborn 30-some-odd years ago. I never put it on her because I thought it was too fancy for a newborn to slobber and poop all into. As a result, it went without ever being worn. It was a waste of the giver's money and of our closet space, I suppose. In retrospect, I should have used the hell out of it. Because it costs so much, the only way to get the value out of it would have been to use it excessively. I've tried to keep that in mind ever since. The more it costs, the more it should be used to get the value out of it, not the more it should be kept locked away just to look at, unless it's a painting or something. That you don't actually have to have an opinion on everything. Watching someone say, "I don't know enough about that to comment," made me realize silence is an option too. If more people did this, the world would be a better place. A person was talking stupid, and the person didn't argue, but just got up and walked away without saying a word.
As someone who worked with the public, I learned to not argue with stupid. I frequently say, "Interesting, I didn't know that," when people tell me with absolute certainty a fact I'm 90% sure is wrong.
Your mileage may vary on this one, but sitting through meetings you don't need to be in. When I was an intern, I mentioned to my boss that a certain team's meetings were brutally long and tended to get way more in the weeds than they should. He told me, "Then just leave," and it absolutely blew my mind. You have to know the politics, and I'd advise getting a vibe check from your boss first. But you can almost always say something like, "It sounds like you don't need me for this last part. Is it okay if I go get a head start on this project?" Or, "I have something pretty time-sensitive to get to. Are there any things left you need my input on?" And then I just leave. I say it cheerfully. I always follow up on the parts that involved me, and I've never gotten in trouble for it or had it impact my reputation negatively. Don't let yourself be trapped. Edit to add, I have about 7 years of professional experience. I'm not still an intern just cluelessly watching social cues whiff over my head. I love the phrase, "I have a hard stop in X minutes." I have never had anyone ask why.
Saying, "Thank you for the invitation, but we won't be able to make it," to a social invite without providing a detailed explanation about why you can't attend. The "not required to give a reason" moment is the best. Though I can't deny the urge to fill the gap and mumble some excuse. Usually the person you're talking to doesn't even care that you don't have a reason. They were just wanting to hear yes or no. Giving a shit. I don't mean in an apathetic way, but growing up my parents panicked about every little thing. Going to the store, a DR's appointment, a missed piece of mail, dropping a fork, spilling milk on the table. Everything turned into a big deal. But I spent time with other people as a teen/adult, and realized that wasn't normal. The world doesn't end if you burn a pizza, or if the water spills over when boiling pasta. That guy who cut you off isn't the worst part of your day. The staff member at the store checking your ID isn't a bad person. You can just not react to those things, and life gets a whole lot easier. For real, growing up, my mom was so high-strung. Everything was stressful and panic-inducing. Turns out she had an undiagnosed unmedicated anxiety disorder. Now as an adult I'm one of the chillest people I know, because nothing is ever truly that big of a deal. Not opening the door when the doorbell rings. This one hit hard for me. Was casually speaking to my neighbor and she mentioned the neighborhood was getting hit hard by solicitors lately. I told her a few were selling internet plans, no-name wireless, and pest control services. She looked at me like I had a horn between my eyes and asked me why I was opening my door to strangers. Made me really think about how programmed we are to answer the door, to anyone and everyone who may or may not be nefarious. So, I just stopped, because it is weird I would open my door to someone I'm not expecting. Realizing that I don't have to be responsible for other people's emotions. Like, I am, of course, responsible to behave like a decent human being and treat everyone lovingly and with integrity, but it's up to them how they feel about my actions, and it's their job to manage those emotions, not mine. The flip side, though, was also realizing I am responsible for my own emotions, and that I can't put those on anyone else. Seeing someone just not force small talk made me realize you don't have to fill every silence, and watching friends say, "I'm too tired to go," without guilt taught me that you're allowed to honor your energy without explaining yourself. I think one of the signs of a true friendship is the ability to sit in companionable silence for a while. Not all the time. But if you are on a road trip with someone, I think a real tell that they're a good friend is if they aren't constantly trying to engage you in conversation. That it's okay to sit there and enjoy the moment, or zone out, without it being taken as an insult. Pretending to be okay all the time. You're allowed to rest, not perform.